What's up, troops? How's it going? Welcome back to a new video. We've got an absolute brilliant one from the Swedish military. Again, the Swedish Armed Forces really know how to put out their videos and how to do recruitment. We've got the Orion Patrol, the Hunter's 50-mile march. Hopefully I've pronounced that correctly. It's been recommended by a few of you already, only got released a day or two ago. And I've had a quick look through. I've not actually watched it, but just skimmed through. And it looks pretty horrendous, but very, very interesting. But before we get going, I just want to give a massive shout out for all of you who have clicked on this video to watch it, who've watched videos in the past and have subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, then please click that subscription button now so you can stay up to date with all future videos. And remember to turn that notifications bell on. And a big shout out to all channel members. We've got a couple of new members, so a big shout out to Tim and Nanny Witch Writer. So a massive shout out to you two and a massive shout out to all of the other channel members. Thank you for all of your support, and thank you to all of you who just liked, shared, commented or viewed any of my videos. And remember to head over to combatreadyhq.co.uk to check out some of the best tasting coffee we do ship internationally. Read our shipping and delivery section on our website. But getting into this then, like I said, this looks extremely difficult but extremely interesting. We've got auto translate on for English, so please do let me know in the comment section if there's any sort of major translation issues, but to be honest, I find YouTube's getting much better at it. But yeah, I've got my coffee. I'm drinking the new Battle Brew blend. Let's get into it. Grab your coffee and we can enjoy this together.
Orionpatrullen är en liten uppgiftsanpassad enhet som har till uppgift att ta sig långt bakom fiendens linje, genomföra ett inhämtningsuppdrag och sen leda in stridsflyg från flygvapnet i syfte att förstöra ett av fiendens högvärdiga mål. De är helt beroende av sig själva under hela genomförandet och måste bära med sig allt de kan behöva. En del av uppgiften är också att testa försöksutrustning som vi ännu inte vet hur den fungerar i den här miljön.
That's pretty interesting. This automatically seems a little bit like Cambrian Patrol, but not as sort of testy. Cambrian Patrol is more of an event where loads of countries come together. This seems more just specific to the unit. But when I say it's similar to Cambrian Patrol, with Cambrian Patrol, you basically go out, you do around 40 to 60 miles, I think it is, 40 to 60k maybe, but you're self-sufficient for the whole time. You're out for 2 days. I've done it twice, and you're just self-sufficient. What you take with you is what you get to, you survive on that, and you have to bring everything back with you. What I love about this is them saying they test new equipment as well, which is very, very interesting, because these guys have got to be absolutely brilliant at their job, because you're going into such a harsh environment on your own for so long, and you've got to hopefully rely upon this kit to last and not break on you if it's new kit and you don't know how to operate it. So very, very interesting.
Det pågående kriget i Ukraina visar tydligt att det transparenta slagfältet är mer aktuellt än någonsin, och även vi på K4 behöver tänka över våra metoder, vår taktik. I det här genomförandet kommer patrullen framrycka helt obanad terräng och inte nyttja leder, vägar eller stugor.
Okay, how a reconnaissance patrol should be.
Att välja terrängpartier som är svåråtkomliga där fienden inte tror att vi framrycker. Så att snarare välja de jobbiga, svåra partierna, den dåliga väderleken snarare än de goda förutsättningarna. Det blir framgång för oss.
So brilliantly, I love the quality of this video. Absolutely brilliant. And I love what he's saying there is you don't take paths, roads, or any tracks, because you wouldn't on a reconnaissance patrol anyway. You could take the easy route, but the chances are you're going to get seen by the civilian, so civ pop, you're seen by civilian population or by the enemy forces, okay? Just because it's the easy route doesn't mean you should take it. Reconnaissance patrol, long, hard, over arduous, undulating ground, and you're following the contour lines in alongside wood blocks, through wood blocks. Okay, you shouldn't be taking any paths because there's more chance of you being seen. And it's very interesting that the majority of new Swedish documentaries mention the war in Ukraine, so you can definitely tell that they're really bolstering up for this. They're really training, and they are expecting possibly something to happen either across their borders or for them to get involved.
Då är vi igång med den här uppgiften där vi ska vara ute i 3 veckors tid. Tanken är att vi ska ta oss minst 30 mil men sannolikt längre. Pulkorna vi startar med då väger ju 100 kilo i kombination med den utrustning vi har på oss. Det är ungefär 40 kilo mat. Vi kommer förbränna mycket energi. Vi räknar med ungefär 6 500 till 7000 kilokalorier per dag. Kylan och den fysiska ansträngningen kommer ju sannolikt göra att vi går ner i vikt. 30-35 kilo grupputrustning, vapen, ammunition, sprängdeg, radiomateriel och sen ungefär 25 kilo personlig utrustning.
Right, so we go back to what I said about Cambrian Patrol. Completely different, completely wrong. That's just about this one episode here. This is a lot tougher and a lot more different to Cambrian Patrol. Hats off to these guys. This actually reminds me of the Serious Patrol that the Danish armed forces do in Greenland, when they go and do their operations around Greenland, their tour of duty to hope maintain occupation of Greenland. 100 kilos of sled, 40 kilos of food. They're approximately going to do about 300k in total. Right, mind-boggling distances that is. I've done some long marches. The longest one I've done is 131 miles on my own for a charity event. I've done 20, 30, 40 other ones as well. This is pretty disgusting in this terrain. Self-sufficient, carrying 100 kilo sleds. Very, very impressive. But it's going to take them around 3 weeks because it's obviously extremely hard and difficult, and you've got to go at such a slow pace pulling that sled, and then you might encounter weather difficulties as well.
Under den här marschen kommer vi stöta på väldigt många olika terrängtyper. Det är högfjällsterräng, snårig björkskog, till del öppna vattendrag som vi behöver ta oss över, isreka, där vi har med oss utrustning för att exempelvis kunna sänka och hissa pulker i väldigt branta partier och ta oss an andra typer av utmaningar i terrängen.
That is pretty disgusting, isn't it? And extremely hard to operate. Operating in sort of cold, snowy environments when it's just dry is hard, but it's not the hardest. It's really not. When it starts to pick up windy, snowy, and you can't see in front of you, this is when it gets extremely difficult. Being cold, wet, and windy and miserable, extremely hard. Dry, sort of just snow, yeah, you can operate. You're just cold, it's fine. But this is very hard to operate in. You can barely see, everything blows around. The terrain's extremely difficult. The kit they're using, I never did cold weather. I never went to Norway or anything with the army, but yeah, those obviously jackets they're wearing, obviously extremely windproof. They're going to be waterproof. They don't look too thick, but they're going to be high quality. You can see the fit gloves they're wearing. Love the little badges there. Absolutely brilliant.
Sänker vi ner din pulka sen, Sven.
How dangerous that is.
Hur känns kroppen, Hannes?
Det är stelt på vissa ställen.
Vi massage i bastun sen.
Vinden ylar ute, det fladdrar i tältduken. Här inne tar vi hand om varandra.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Sämsta man kan göra. Alltså de är så stela.
That's most probably one of the worst things, is putting your kit back on in the morning when you're cold, wet and miserable.
Ja, värsta tiden på dagen här.
Told ya.
Helt jävla stenhårda kängor. Omöjligt att torka. Morgon på minus 20 här. Typ stå och klacka i dem här.
Look at those socks they're wearing as well.
Ja, lite kallare dag idag.
Han lyser skägget.
Sista krönet då. Lämnar vi fjällvärlden bakom oss. Ja, vi är nere i skogslandet.
It's not even skiing, is it? It is literally just making your way through thick snow on the skis. Extremely tough.
Lite tyngre spårsnö. Jobba sig fram i bräsket.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Ja, slutade på brant.
You just got a 100 kilo sled behind you. Look, you got a 100 kilo sled behind you. That could easily just... Well, it's on rigid bars, isn't it, by the looks of it, actually. Yes, it couldn't... But still extremely dangerous if you lose your footing.
Ner för dödsbacken till Torneträsk.
Hill of death.
Dags att spränga järnväg.
Oh, nice. Here we go.
En av typuppgifterna som vi som jägarförband har är att förstöra för fienden viktig infrastruktur. Under en fjärrpatrull där man har begränsat med externa resurser vill vi in i det sista undvika att hamna i sammanstöt. Därför är exempelvis förstörelse av en obevakad järnvägssträcka ett väldigt bra mål som skapar stor effekt.
So these guys, you know, they're out on their own and they're disrupting. You know, destroying and disrupting.
Receptfavoriter från Orion.
Riven ost.
Riven ost. Man river fryst ost med tänderna. Och så stoppar man ner det i maten.
That's brilliant. I've not seen that before. Brilliant.
Ja, det är den och så är det...
Vänta, tog en klar.
Ja, mer. Ja, det är 7:30 hos mig här. Ja, drickbuljong i, det börjar man sälta upp lite också.
Åh nej. Det är matlagningsprogram som har preppat här. Och som har haft en klick smör och som blev spannare.
You got butter as well.
Vilken jävla festmåltid.
Ja, oj, och så extra mycket. Oj. Voilà. Chicken tomato sauce with pasta alla Svenny.
Brilliant.
Hur går det, Sven?
Ja.
Morgonrutin nummer vadå? Sovsäcken är lite wet, kondensblöt.
That's horrible because you want to try and remain as dry as possible because if your kit gets wet and then you start getting wet at night and you're always wet, you're going to be out of action and that's not what you need. Okay, you want to try and keep everything as dry as you possibly can apart from the kit you're obviously operating in the snow. But I understand how difficult it is in these conditions.
Vi kör lite rutin här med försöker torka trasan när man tinar upp det, sätter sig på morgonen. Man känner det börjar vara såna här frostklumpar nu i sovsäcken.
Just how cold it is. How hard is it to operate there?
På startklopp. Ska vi dokumentera fältfacet här?
Oh, look at that.
Gula blåsor.
That because obviously how cold it is, they're just obviously skin starting to freeze and blister. Would you better not off having a beard? Is that why the majority normally have beards, didn't they?
Wowie.
But he's still getting it.
Snyggingar.
But that's painful.
Ja, vad säger du, Sven? Förflyttningsprov 50 kilometer eller 50 mil?
Just det.
Vad är det för idé vi har fått här?
Om jag ändå ska skida 40, vi kommer ha tid att skida 45. Då smakar 50 bättre i munnen. Det hade varit fint. Det är en bättre siffra.
Ouch, look at that. Trying to pull a sled through that. Like, trying to operate just with a burden on, trying to walk through sort of bushes and trees like that is extremely hard. Trying to do that with a sled on skis, it's got to be even harder. It's just frustrating.
Rekar uppe på åsen.
Just look at it. It's just nothing there. Nothing.
platsen där uppe. Går det, Hannes?
Jo då, sträcker på lite här. Ska upp och
Leda in JAS.
leda lite in JAS och joxa med samband.
Det blir kul.
Det blir kul om det funkar.
Annars suger det.
Annars suger det.
Grids of target 01, 34 whiskey.
Under det här tillfället så leder vi in flyg, en av huvuduppgifterna under operation Orion. Vi finns på platsen för att bekräfta det högvärdiga målet så att flyget kan göra jobbet.
Here it comes.
Sista kvällen, har ni tänkt på det?
Those blisters look painful. Oh, I've had similar before. You've really got to try and look after your feet. They looked painful.
Några gånger.
Vad är era reflektioner?
Det är bland annat att man slipper sörväs till höger om sig. Nej. Alltså Oskar Simmergran. Och så slipper man Hannes som ligger 5 centimeter från ansiktet och kurar ihop sig liksom och bara närma sig till slut ligger han med liksom i en sked så.
Är det verkligen någonting negativt?
Ja, nej, jag kommer nog sakna det.
Ja.
Ja, sista marschpasset blir typ det värsta. Bara bygger Kramsnöberg, bara klabbar. På bra humör.
Ja.
Tänkte vi var home safe, bara 3 kilometer kvar. Det är typ det sugigaste föret. Smällde om efter lunch och blev plus. Tack för det.
Målet med operation Orion var ju att vi skulle vara ute i minst 21 dygn, då, 22 dagar som det blev. Och vi insåg på slutet när vi närmade oss den tänkta målgången då, att vi låg ganska bra till i tid. Så vi bestämde oss för att fortsätta längs finska gränsen då, tills egentligen tiden var slut. Då. 500 kilometer blev det i slutändan då, innan vi blev upplockade av
500 kilometers.
övriga delar av förbandet. Då. Det var ju en otroligt härlig känsla att bara se den här målgången som man hade liksom föreställt sig då under så lång tid. Även om det också är en konstig så här, tomhetskänsla som också infinner sig.
Det den här patrullerna har åstadkommit under de här 3 veckorna, det är enastående och anmärkningsvärt. Det de har uthärdat och styrkan att vara en grupp. Den här teamkänslan. För det är ju det som många söker också. Det är därför många vill vara kvar i Försvarsmakten.
Samarbetet inom gruppen, det är ju verkligen nyckeln till att lyckas och få vara del av den gemenskapen. Det är ju helt fantastiskt. Man kan ju se det som 3 weeks of hell. I kanske 99,9% av befolkningen hade man ju säkert sett det som en sån grej. Men jag tror att den typen av individer som vi är gör ju också att man ser någon form av tjusning i den utmaningen. Vi reflekterade under hela marschen, operationen, att hur det hade kunnat sett ut i ett verkligt scenario. En skrämmande tanke, men framförallt en stolthet i att kunna få bidra till försvaret av vårt eget land.
K4 är ett av ett fåtal förband i världen som har den här unika förmågan att genomföra den här typen av operationer på Nordkalotten. Jag skulle säga att det här är ett exempel där vi ville pröva och testa vissa saker. Men framtida uppgifter skulle kunna se helt annorlunda ut.
That's the patrol there. Fair play to him. Hands go. Like, wow. First of all, absolutely brilliant video. Well recorded, well edited. Hats off to the guys out on the ground for videoing the stuff that they videoed as well while trying to operate. And hats off to them. They're, like they said, 99.9% or would see that as pure hell. I would love to give something like that a go. Not saying I would be able to do it. Never operated like that. But I'd love to give something like that a go. But hats off, because trying to operate in cold conditions like that, when it gets quite, spicy, wind comes in, snow comes in, hard enough of it as it is. Then you're operating in a small team on your own. You pull in a sled, 100 kilos, all the kit you need to operate for those 3 weeks on your own. Extremely, extremely difficult to do. Not just physically, but mentally to stay with it the whole way through is very hard. And like they said, the patrol collaborated very well together. So they basically worked really well as a team. And that's what you need. If you're going to operate, behind enemy lines for such a long time on your own, you need a good team and you need to all be able to get on. And you could see the way they were laughing and joking throughout as well, and the way they operated together, that they were a really good team and they've got that bond, that they work well together. Oh, just extremely impressive. The kit they used, I found very, very interesting. It's, considering the temperatures, it doesn't look like they have to wear too much. Obviously, they're walking a lot, so they are, warming their bodies up, heating themselves up. But like the Gore-Tex layers and the windproof layers look quite thin and extremely good. I could see on themselves, they literally had the bare minimal weapon systems, wouldn't wear helmets unless they possibly got into contact, maybe, just soft hats, minimal sort of chest rigs, with minimal pouches, mostly with a bit of water, a bit of food, a bit of med kit and ammunition, and then their weapon systems. And I'm guessing that's obviously for mobility. So that was very interesting to see. And then the sleds that they pull and the rigid bars, all completely sort of windproofed, and then everything just gets frozen anyway because it's extremely cold. All very, very interesting. I really, really liked it. Hats off to these guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed my commentary and my reaction to this, and we look forward to some future videos. But I did get it completely wrong. Nothing like the Cambodia patrol, and it wasn't a series. It was just one episode on that patrol. I think there's a translation issue at the beginning. It was 500 kilometers, not 50 miles. But absolutely brilliant. Thank you for recommending this, and I'll see you soon.